And welcome again to Late Night Parents. The ways to follow the show is latenightparents.com. I'm Ted Hicks, and seated beside me is none other than Rich Valdez.
Diddy Dad.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you? It's another week. A week that was, or a week that wasn't?
A week that was.
A week that was.
It was a good week, I think.
It was. I'm going to ask you this question, because I know you're going to say, well, you know, I'm not the sports guy. I'm not this. I'm not that.
Uh-huh.
Canelo Triple G, did you see the fight?
I didn't see it.
Did you see the highlight?
I saw the highlights. And, of course, I heard the results. And when the first thing I saw was, of course, the end results and the score, the three judges. And I know the first thing I saw was, okay, we got one judge, 114, 114. Okay, close fight. It was a draw, fine. The other one, what was he, like 112, 114, I think, something like that. And then there was a judge who might have been watching a different fight.
Adalaide Byrd.
118 to 110.
10 rounds to 2.
When you got two judges that are that close and one that is completely off the wall, what do you... I mean, it's not like this has never happened before. This happens all the time.
It happens all the time with this same specific judge.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
There's a history there.
Okay.
With the judge. And calling fights, I guess the way she sees it.
That's a job.
It's a job. I don't know.
So did you see the fight?
I saw the fight.
And
it was a pretty good fight.
Do you agree that it was a draw? Or rather, wait, let me rephrase. Do you debate that it was a draw?
I don't debate that it was a draw because it was in an arena where Saul Canelo Alvarez was favorite.
Okay.
It was out there in Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, where it's going to house the Las Vegas Knights, the newest NHL team. But the fight that I saw, I kind of saw Triple G take it to him.
Right.
And win slightly on points.
Okay.
But anything's up for discussion.
Yeah. See, now my son saw it live.
Oh, okay.
And, we were talking about it, and in his opinion, it was Triple G kept the jab out there.
He kept it out there,
but he threw more punches, but had a lower percentage.
Correct.
And had extremely few power shots.
Yes.
Where Canelo was almost the opposite. A lot more power shot, less punches thrown, higher connect percentage, more power shots.
Dead on.
Okay.
But there was most of the match. Triple G was shortening the ring.
Okay.
Because it was like
ringsmanship. That's one of your qualifications.
Right. So every time you kind of blinked your eyes, he was backing down Canelo.
Okay.
You know, it always seemed like, Canelo was backing up against the ropes,
right,
and was, on his roller skates a little bit. But it was a good fight.
Okay,
it was a good fight.
That's what counts in its own way. Now, no one has said it, but you have to almost assume rematch. Has anyone said about it yet?
No, but sources say rematch will probably be in May.
Okay, that's pretty soon.
Right.
6 months. All right, that's good.
I'm thinking trilogy.
Now, see, that'll be, if we started off with the draw.
Right.
So let's go for the trilogy. So, what, quadrilogy instead? You start off with a draw, you let one win number 2, the other one wins number 3, and then it's all in for number 4.
Something like that. I mean, they should have fought 2 years ago.
Right.
At least.
Right.
Because if you think about it now, Triple G is 35, 36.
Yep.
So by the time after they fight the second time, he's definitely going to be 36.
Right.
Starting to lean towards 37.
Old man's game.
Right. But Floyd is 40.
Yeah, but you can't compare.
No, you can't.
You can't compare.
You can't. But I tell you, Canelo was throwing a lot of punches. and Triple G just kept coming at him.
Okay, how did Triple G? Obviously, he took him well. I was going to say, how did Triple G take those power shots from Canelo?
He took him well.
Did anyone get rocked?
I think both of them got rocked.
Okay, all right.
Both of them got rocked. You look at, both of them today, you're going to see a few nicks and bruises on both of them. I thought it was a good fight. Well, let's see. This was an HBO property, so it will be on next weekend, I'm figuring. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I would tell you this much. The one thing they did last night, which was really, really smart, and they mentioned during the pay-per-view that, so there was, 3 preliminary fights.
Right.
They told you bright and early that the main event was going to be at 11 p.m.
I saw that in the news beforehand as well.
Right.
And they're like, all right, it's not going to start till 11 p.m., so don't even worry about it.
Right. It's not going to start. It's going to start at 11 p.m., whereas 3 weeks ago, that other fraud of a fight started about 12:30 at night.
Right.
Or in the morning.
Right.
But, I don't know. Hey, I do want to give a big shout-out to UNIR1. I want to give a big shout-out to our home base, 1240 AM, WGBB. And also give a big shout-out to Dr. Michele, who isn't in the building.
What part of the world is she gallivanting in this week? I mean, she's all over the place, especially talking about her book.
Right.
So where is she this weekend? Do you know?
I believe she's East Coast.
Okay. All right.
She's East Coast.
She's not using the passport this time. Okay.
No, she's not using the passport. But I'm sure she is selling those books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. The other thing, no guest tonight.
Okay. This is just you and I?
Yes.
Rambling on.
Rambling.
This is good. I got a question for you.
Yes.
As we're talking about the people that air us, when are we going into Dumbo, Brooklyn? Or is there a change there?
Well, that's a good conversation.
Okay.
That's a good conversation. And we kind of put it on halt. To be determined.
Fair enough.
To be determined. Because before, we were going to go there previously, but the telephony wasn't set up.
Got it.
The way we wanted it set up. Now, granted, we could have done a show like this, where no callers or anything else like that, but we kind of wanted to do something special.
Right.
So I will reach out to our friend out in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Want to give a shout out to our friends at WIR FM in Rochester.
Upstate New York.
Holla. Was speaking with them this past week. They currently don't air the show, but they aired it as a special.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay.
And I said, well, thanks. And they said, well, we're not sure if we're going to air the show in a regular slot.
Okay.
Because I think they're super booked.
Okay.
But they said we wanted to air it as a special because it was based on the content. And I'm not sure what the show was about.
That would have been nice. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a Charlottesville one or something where we were talking about, ransomware, or because we talk about really relevant topics. Mm-hmm. And the best thing about it is these conversations aren't really time sensitive.
No, for the most part not. We may hit a topic of current events, but I think we try to address it from an angle where you can listen to it a year from now.
Right.
And it'll still apply.
Right. That is true.
We try.
That is true. I will tell you, I didn't get a chance to share with you last week. 3 weeks ago, I was, as I usually do, clean shaven.
Mm-hmm.
In the mirror.
Yep.
Looking at myself in the morning, smiling and making all different types of funny faces.
Uh-huh.
And I usually use a Gillette blade.
Okay. Which one, by any chance, do you know? I mean, there's so many of them, it seems.
The Fusion.
The Fusion. I like that blade.
The Fusion. I've been using them for the past, let's say, 5-6 years.
Okay.
Okay. So, where I'm going to take this? I'm going to take this. So, I've been using various blades for like the last 20 years.
Right.
Probably a little bit more than 20 years.
Right.
So, I learned to like the Fusion a lot.
Yep. It's a comfortable blade.
Use the Mach 3, use this one, use that one.
Yep.
Guess what came in the mail?
What came in the mail?
So, a lot of different things come in the mail. And, there's books, there's this, people are hawking their items. And it's like, can I come on the show and talk about this? Can I talk about that? And it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's a really good thing. But it's a thing that sometimes it has to be slightly tempered. Sometimes you have to take a step back.
Yep.
Because what came in the mail was Dollar Shave.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club.
This came unsolicited?
No, we were talking behind the scenes.
Okay.
And the question was whether one of the reps can come on, or I think it was really more on the lines of, can you put something together in the blog about it?
Okay.
So I was like, all right, because I've done for Schick. Mm-hmm. I did a promotion for Schick, I think last year or 2 years ago. Took pictures on Instagram with me and my son.
I remember.
All lathered, super lathered up, and holding the blades and smiling and all of this type of stuff, right?
Yep, I remember seeing Nemo all lathered up.
Okay, so it's that time of year again. So Dollar Shave.
Yep.
So I said, got this new Dollar Shave. Let me see. Let me try it out.
Now, I'm going to just take a half a step back here for a moment. For those that have never seen Ted nor myself, we both are of the follically challenged.
I would say.
And therefore, the blade goes not just on the face, but on the head.
Right.
Continue.
Okay, so I am continuing. So now I'm at the point. I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, I'm all lathered up. I take the blade out, and I go, hello, blade.
Hello, blade.
And I proceed to put the blade against my head.
Okay.
And at the point when I get ready to take that first swipe,
yes,
I hear what it sounds like loosely paper ripping.
So this is, you have not begun to wait to take the first swipe. You have started the first swipe.
I have started the first swipe, and I only took one swipe. So I'm standing, whoosh, and I'm like, so I'm standing there, and that moment, you're looking in the mirror, and you're like,
what just happened?
What just happened? What's going on? Oh, my goodness. And then I felt like an MMA fighter,
And then the trickle started down your face?
The trickle started, and I said, oh, my. I do not know what I've done.
But it's not good.
And Brian, who's our engineer, who has a full head of hair, is holding onto his head like, oh, my goodness, I can only imagine. So I'm not taking a shot at Dollar Shave or anyone else like that. I think it was me.
Did you advise them of what happened?
I did not yet advise them of what happened. But I did take pictures of after the swipe.
Okay, yes, and there were pictures that needed to be taken.
Yes, I did take pictures of it. And I was just like, oh, my goodness, I didn't go to work that day.
After seeing the results of the brutality and the assault that was made to Ted's head.
Someone asked me if I had been shanked.
Yeah, it was a violent scene.
Someone asked me that. They said, you will look like you were in some type of penitentiary and you were shanked. And
you should see the other guy. That I think you need to let them know what happened, because I'm also, I think, in the same vein, not immediately putting the blame on them.
Right.
This could very, very simply have been a manufacturing defect. This could have been a faulty blade, bent, a half a millimeter micron, convexly instead of concavely, and it caught your skin right away and yank on the first pull. Because I can't see that this is something that happens to many of their customers, because they wouldn't have customers.
Right. So,
it's a Dollar Shave Club. Give Ted a call, find out the details. I think you still have the blade.
I still have the blade with the
hanging flap of skin attached.
With the skin still attached. It's encased right now. It's in cold storage.
It's in cold storage.
I'm telling you.
I don't think they'll want the skin, but they might want the blade.
But I'm telling you, if if anyone has any types of questions, that DNA...
You're trackable forever.
But I wanted to share that with you, that, because I know a lot of people who do shave their heads and who do get all types of nicks and burns and cuts and everything else like that. If you're used to using a specific blade, I would say stick with it.
Yeah, I
don't
understand.
Veer off because you got something for free.
Well, I'll say you healed up nicely.
Thank you, and I want to give a big shout out to Clairol, who I was coloring in the patch.
A little bit of makeup.
Okay.
Find your skin tone?
Yes, I did find my skin tone. I colored it in because I had a meeting like 2 days later in the dean's office. And I said, I need...
Yes, because you showed up for the Tuesday meeting, still looking like you had to battle with the guillotine.
Yes. But the next day was a meeting with the execs.
Gone. Right.
And you looked, you said, wait, it's gone.
It's gone. The swath of skin that was missing has been returned.
I'm telling you, it was, I think it's called Finisher or...
Okay. You had a good base laid up, and then you got some color going on top.
I had the color going on, and it matched it, and I sat there, and I said, okay, this is it. We're good.
So it'll stick with the face, but I don't know if I'll go with the head. What I'm going to try, though, someone recommended to me, and of course, now that I said it, it just flew right out of my head.
Please don't say Magic Shave.
No. I wasn't going to say Magic Shave, even though that's probably the best way to do it, let me tell you. No, the shave, not the shaving club, but you got the shaving company.
Okay.
That they have stores like in Walt Whitman Mall.
Okay.
You can go and get a shave and haircut and everything. I think there's one in Midtown Manhattan.
Okay.
They sell all the supplies. The name I had it a second ago.
Okay.
I might, go give myself the pampering one day. It's more than just it's just more than just a barbershop.
Okay.
It's not a men's salon, but that's all they do is shaving and shaving gear. And you can get the beaver hair brush for yourself at home and do all that. I have that kit, and it's nice.
I was really concerned you was going to say Magic Shave, and you would come in and half of your face is burnt off.
Hey, it was good for our father.
I don't know. I just don't know sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of the situation of
the art of shaving. That's what it was.
What happened it's you learn a little, you live a little.
Yep.
And you say, why? Why did I do that?
The art of shaving, and they're in Roosevelt Field as well. So Ted, that's where you need to go.
All right.
And
I'm good with it.
Give you the full up, the towel treatment, the shaving, treat you like you're supposed to be treated.
All right.
Have Pam get that for you for like Father's Day or birthday or something.
Hey, I got to tell you, these last 5 or 6 Father's Days, they've really gone all out. So I'm not going to complain, because usually you say, "Oh, I just got the pair of socks and and the V-neck undershirts and
the tie
some off-colored tie that you're smiling and you're sitting there like, thank you."
I have so many things that go with fuchsia.
And you say, "Did you leave the receipt in the bag? Do you have a gift receipt?"
Well, see, they get older, then the kids have a little input themselves, and they want to do the right thing for pops.
No, they do. They really do. And I think I think I told you last Father's Day, my daughter bought me a pair of Crocs.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, she bought me a pair of Crocs. Got them right size, everything. And guess what?
You still wear them.
I still wear them.
Nice.
And don't tell anyone. I paid for them.
She gave them to you. You paid for them.
She ordered them on Amazon. And you...
So you gave a pair of Crocs to yourself via a proxy.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
I thought it was great.
I got it. Well, that's one of those, it truly is the thought that counts.
Yeah, I thought it was. Hey, what did you think this past week, with the big Apple town hall? And
see, all I was doing, and I think we started some of this conversation last week,
yes,
was laughing when hearing all the quote-unquote new features.
New features.
We have waterproof.
Waterproof?
As all the Samsung owners laughed and said, oh yeah, we had that 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. What about...
We got wireless charging.
Wireless charging.
As all the Samsung owners laughed and said, oh, we had that 3 years ago too. It's all encased in glass. I want them to drop it in front of everyone and say, this is how safe this glass is. What other features that were... There were like 6 or 7 things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what about all the uproar with the Face ID?
Oh, yeah. Samsung owners laughed again and said we did that a couple of years ago. What's interesting about the uproar is the potential security, work concerns. How do you tell it not to lock it if someone's forcing you to unlock your phone with your face? Do you squeeze the phone? Do you press the button on the bottom?
Something like you squeeze, because there on most of these phones there is no bottom button.
Right. Correct. No more button buttons. So now you got to swipe up to get to the home screen that the button used to enable.
So if you squeeze it on the side or you hit some magical button, then the facial recognition won't work.
And I would say it'd be better to make it so that this may sound silly, but you make a different face, it locks the phone.
Right.
Don't smile, frown, or, close one eye, or, this is your security lock just in case. I mean, technically, you do that for home, right? So that you have an emergency code, a duress code on your home alarm.
Correct.
So that it looks like you're pressing in the buttons, but you're really setting the alarm if someone's there right behind you.
I hope they're thinking about that. I really do. I really do hope they're thinking about that. I don't want to say lackluster event.
Yeah, but it was phone, it was X, it was 8. That's all we really got out of this one, right?
It was X, it was 8, it was 8 Plus.
Right.
It was Watch.
Oh yeah, that's right. How can I forget Watch? Watch 3. So Watch 3 gives us now you have to, of course, pay another $10 a month.
Yeah.
To get your cellular service from the watch.
Right.
You can be Dick Tracy now, so you can talk to your watch. I think did they extend the battery life a little more now?
I think so.
So you might get a full entire day or maybe a day and a half out of it. Maybe.
So I don't have it on tonight, but my family purchased me Apple Watch Series 1.
Right.
So to hear the difference between the Series 1 price of $229 and the LTE price is $399.
$400.
And the non-LTE Series 3 is $329.
Okay, and wait, and then what is the Series 2 price?
$249.
See, in my humble opinion,
difference between 1 and 2 is waterproof.
Right. And 1 should be $190. Actually, 1 should be $149.
Mm-hmm.
2 should be $199. 3 non-cellular. I'll give him $299.
Okay.
And then go cellular $349.
Okay. I mean, $50 off.
Yeah, all around. Everything, and that's just my opinion. Everything is just a little overpriced, especially the 1. The 1 should be like dirt cheap now, considering that
it should be.
It's what they're only getting rid of stock at this point. You would think they're not making them. There's no manufacturing going on. dump them, sell them, get them out there, because I think that's one of the things where if you get someone to get the Series 1 and they really do like it,
they'll upgrade.
They'll upgrade, exactly.
They'll upgrade.
And it's not going to be an upgrade to a 2. It'll probably be an upgrade to a 3.
Right.
So, have a little business sense there. Just go for it, Apple. But that's just me.
And I think the last thing that was mentioned was ultimately iOS 11.
Right, right.
But Apple TV.
I didn't hear anything.
4K.
I wasn't listening. Oh, yes, that's right.
Apple TV. And if you've purchased XYZ movies in iTunes for your Apple TV,
right,
they will be upgraded to
upgrade.
4K at no cost.
That's a good thing.
I think that's a good thing.
Are you an Apple TV owner?
I am not an Apple TV owner.
Neither am I.
And I don't think I will become an Apple TV owner.
I don't think I will either. I think my son may end up going that route. He's more in the Appleverse than I am. We have a couple of Rokus in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course between Xboxes of various generations
right.
and PlayStations of various
right.
generations, everything has all the media content through there as well. There's no real reason for us to add a third one on that would get even less use than any of the others. Not in my household.
No, I'm going to agree with you. But granted, if Apple is listening, which I'm sure they are, because this is Late Night Parents with Rich and Ted, that if you want to send us an Apple TV or two to test out and talk about on the show,
would be more than happy to evaluate.
More than happy.
To give it a fair evaluation, because honestly, I've never even used one, touched one, gotten to see what the interface is fully like, how it really integrates with your iTunes library and everything else. Would be nice.
I haven't touched one of those, and I probably will get in trouble for this.
Uh-oh.
I did touch one of those Verizon IPTVs.
Yeah? What did you think of it? Well, how much time did you get to mess around with it?
Very short time, but they told me don't talk about it.
Okay.
But therefore, I will talk about it.
So much for that NDA.
But I'm thinking from what they were mentioning, the look and feel is similar, but moving towards, a remote with no numbers,
right.
no nothing.
Like your phone.
Just like your phone. And it's kind of slick.
Okay.
It was kind of slick. But slick to the point of if you're picking or watching specific movies or TV shows,
mm-hmm.
it's going to start to make the recommendations for you.
Okay.
On specific TV shows.
But Netflix does that.
Netflix does that. The other thing that I thought was pretty slick on that non-Apple TV device that
mm-hmm.
we're talking about,
mm-hmm.
that we won't mention again, was the fact that if a specific show has been on within the last 72 hours,
right,
you could pull it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
Without your DVR.
Right.
So it's totally removing the whole cloud DVR piece away.
Was this dependent upon you being a subscriber of the service we won't mention the name of again?
Correct.
So really it's being housed and stored on the servers at the site, and you're just pulling it up on. It's just on demand.
It's just on demand.
But still.
But it's everything.
Right. Anything that is aired within the last 72 hours.
Right. So if you say, hey, I like watching Brooke Baldwin's CNN show
mm-hmm.
from the hours of 2 to 4, and I miss Friday's episode where Clay Travis from Fox Sports Radio was talking about the First Amendment
mm-hmm.
and mentioning the word, saying the word BOOBS on a TV show. If you wanted to pull that up, you could.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, and I'm thinking Apple TV does the same thing. You can reference a line in a specific movie.
And it'll look up the movie. That's something to test with your Amazon, with your Alexa.
Yes, that is true.
Something to test. Speaking of Alexa,
Mm-hmm.
I got my brother who was here, Dave Dean. Hey,
Dave,
Dave, what's going on?
Dave, what's going on? Great interview.
We were speaking the other night. This was actually about a week and a half ago. And I said, you don't have an Alexa yet? He's like, why should I get an Alexa? And then I said, hold on. I grabbed mine, pulled it right next to the phone. I said, pick a song. He picked the song.
Mm-hmm.
I said, all right, Alexa, play the song. Ring. It starts playing it. He's like, oh, that's cool. I said, Alexa, play the song that goes, I forget what tune I hummed into it. And of course, bling, it starts playing it. He's like, oh, that's cool. Then I said, play my daily briefing. And it ran, started doing all that. Right. He's like, all right, how do I get one of these things?
Oh, okay.
He ended up buying two of them, two different rooms. Because I explained to him how, if you're in two different rooms and you give the orders, it kind of recognizes and triangulates and places it in the right room. And you can synchronize with your Bluetooth speakers and, some of the things that it can do.
Did he get a dot? What did he get?
I believe he got 2 dots.
I ordered 3 dots, Rich. Refurb.
Why not?
Paid for it, Rich. It wasn't a freebie. It wasn't someone hawking something, trying to get on with us and talk about the product or something like that.
Yep.
3 for
$99? No, or the $79.
3 for, I think, maybe $99 or $100.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
We did the messaging once he got, because when he got his set up, I got a message that he was online.
Yes.
I was like, this is good. And then I made a call to him.
Yes.
And, it starts the different color blinks and all that. And I was going to send him a message. I'll do that when I get home today and let it send a message to him, because now that service is working as well. So, cool. I'm starting to use my dot a little more. I mean, it's still a novelty. I have, no home automation, which is I know where the thing shines. Maybe I'll get a few of the smart light bulbs, put in a couple of locations, and start messing with that.
I think the smart light bulbs would be nice. It wouldn't happen with you, but I was speaking with someone, and they mentioned to me in regards to home automation. I said, yeah, well, you don't leave the admin password as admin.
Right.
Because they were talking about, you could be hacked. You could be, I said, wait, who are you, John Podesta? Come on.
My Amazon password is not password. So I'm okay there. And to the best of my knowledge, I've changed the password on every device in the house, and it's no longer 123 or admin.
Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, you speak with people, and you're just like, wait, what are you doing? What's going on here? But,
speaking of security, with Equifax, Equitrack, and everything going on there. So now, of course, the word is what? If you signed up for their service, you cannot be part of a class action suit.
Yes.
Even though I have to go back, I should have printed it out, because I'm pretty sure I remember reading when I signed up, it clearly mentioned that.
Did you sign up for Trusted ID?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you sign up for Trusted ID, you cannot be part of the class action lawsuit.
I remember reading in the doc, because I was thinking about that. And maybe this was before the Trusted ID to sign up. That's possible.
Okay.
But it said signing up for this does not exclude you from being able to take part of class action suit. There was specific verbiage around this. Yeah. Okay. So I have to go back and look and see what the deal is there. But yeah, it's getting ugly. So now what? Who was it? The CEO?
The CSO.
All right, and the CSO.
CSO and I believe CEO.
Yep. Gone. But
what took them so long?
Well, did they get to keep whatever profits they made?
Of course.
The alleged, because I didn't read about this, and I read about it, but don't know for sure. So we'll say the alleged sale of whatever stock before the announcement.
I believe the reason why I have such a bad taste in my mouth is not only the fact that these golden parachutes that everyone gets, or they feel that they're entitled to get.
Right.
It's the fact that you knew what was happening and you took it upon yourself to sell 1 million shares.
Right. That's a lot of money.
That's a whole lot.
To get out of it before it hit the fan.
Before it hit the fan. And to announce it during the middle of a hurricane.
Right. Right. Let's hope there's something else that this we announced this and it just I was going to say blows over, but that's kind of
on a Friday evening.
Not intending to put a play on words there, but that's
on a Friday evening. So there's the Friday news cycle.
Right.
There's 3 hurricanes that are swirling around simultaneously.
Right. You've got 2 states halfway underwater.
And that's when you announce it.
And by the way,
I want to let you know that 143 million accounts.
Right. Just about every working American has been possibly hacked or information has been put out there.
As I've said before on our last show, 125 million people voted in the 2016 election. 143 million accounts were
compromised.
Compromised, hacked, all the above.
It's
painful.
The ripples from this will be for years.
Yeah, and ultimately, who gets holding the bag? Who gets left holding the bag?
We do. But, it's almost inevitable. The more information gets out there, the more places that hold your information, and everyone is a target now.
Right.
So, and now, especially now with global situations, political situations as they are, there will be more and more attacks targeted on the government, on the people, on those that are known to hold information. It'll be targets on electronic companies, nuclear companies. We should expect to see this, and unfortunately, we just have to do so much as to trust that those holding our data are securing it as well as possible.
But you know what the problem always is? It's not the specific company, it's the middleware.
Right.
It's the company that connects to it that doesn't have the same standards.
Right.
And we've seen that time and time again.
This is true. All it takes is that one person who's transporting data in a way they're not supposed to be, but they do it anyway because, it's easier. And, I left that laptop in a cab. That how many times do you hear that in the news?
Too many.
Minimal. Oh, yeah, they left the data on this thing and they left it sitting at a restaurant and walked away with it. Too many.
So I guess we'll address, there's a couple things we want to address here. One question for you is, are you starting to become scared of Amazon, of how big it's becoming?
It's, you never thought it would become this. Look back, even 10 years ago, but especially for like 15 years. I mean, Amazon was around.
Right.
Bookstore. They sell books. Oh, This is great. This is really convenient. Oh, they're going to start selling a little more of this and that and the other. Mm-hmm. And now they have just taken over the commerce world. They've taken over the computing hosted world. I mean, everyone's got to realize, I don't know what the percentage is. I know it's high.
Yes.
How many major sites and minor sites and major companies, smaller companies, mid-sized companies host their data with Amazon Web Services?
Right.
And that means, the e-commerce is going through Amazon. The data is stored at Amazon. There's data going through for encryption. Everything is being held or passing through Amazon as a service. They are at that point. You got to wonder if the government's going to start really looking at them. You got to think they probably have. But at what point do they say, all right, you know what, you guys are getting a little too big.
Right.
And you have your fingers in a few too many things here.
Correct.
Time to divest.
They've shaken up retail.
Yeah. Yeah. But the little guy can't compete.
At all.
Half of the big guys that can't compete.
Little guy can't get the item there quick enough.
Yep.
Without, if they continue to absorb the cost, they're going to go out of business.
Right.
The little guy.
Right.
The big guy can't absorb the cost for all that Amazon does.
Right.
I think we're at the point now where Kenmore products are being sold on Amazon.com.
And for those who don't realize it, Kenmore was Sears. A Sears brand sold through Amazon.
Scary. It's scary. Got to talk about something that's might be a little painful for folks.
Uh-oh.
And we've seen it on and off where sports sports was that happy medium for us.
Yes.
Sports was that place where the show after us, right after us, is going to be covering, the NHL.
Yep.
At what point do sports and politics intersect?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you want to get technical about that. Let's go back. Jesse Owens.
Okay.
Just standing there after, beating the Germans.
Yes.
Right there in the Olympics, fist up high.
Mm-hmm.
That's a political statement right in the middle of a sports event with a political statement to the world right in the middle of it.
72 Olympics.
72 Olympics. The brother standing out there.
Yeah. Kind of.
It has been ongoing. And then go at 72 Olympics. Also look at the if that's the piece that you're referring to, the hostage situation.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's always been in the middle of it. I don't know, but it does seem that this event, the whole Colin Kaepernick issue, has, I don't know if marginalized is the right word for it. It's polarized many people.
It has.
Maybe it's just something that enough people are looking at it and saying, all right, this is, ridiculous. Or it's just enough in people's face to say either, from either side, it's just something that they can look at and say, all right, I don't agree with this, and take a stand there for either side, good or bad.
Correct.
And I don't know, where is it going to go? I mean,
I'm not sure. I know this past week, the ESPN Sports Center analyst, anchor, Jamel Hill, tweeted a few things about the president.
Mm-hmm.
A few things that had been said before about the president.
Was that the president is a racist statement?
Yes.
And now they're looking for her job, or people are out calling out for her to lose her job.
I just think we're at that point where the explosion is going to happen.
Yeah.
The eruption is going to happen. I mean, we're just at that point where when there would be a situation, whether it's, we just went through the 16th anniversary of 9/11,
mm-hmm.
the first thing you looked at was sports, so that you can get away.
Right. It was the safe zone.
Right.
Yes. Not anymore.
No, it's not anymore, and we can't blame the debate shows.
Nope.
That it seems like they're on every station, replaying
over and over again,
and over the 5 stories. I don't know. I mean, can it get any worse?
Yeah, because I mean, we have games at least. I mean, at what point is it going to get to a level where some team organizes themselves and says, you know what, we're not playing?
That could be it.
And I don't think that's a stretch.
I mean, but I'm just looking for it. Then we would say that's the tipping point right there.
Right.
Because last week we saw the Cleveland Browns out there, I believe, while the national anthem was being played,
right.
arms interlocked with the Cleveland Police Department.
Showing some solidarity.
Showing that, okay, there's issues here, but the issue isn't with the police.
Right.
The issue isn't with the military. The issue isn't with the country. Or is it with the country? It's I don't know. It's something that we'll look at from time to time because the story is still being written.
I wish I had a crystal ball and could look 5 years into the future to see 5 years and 10 years, because okay. I think it'll be. I think it's going to end up flipping like 180 in, call it 10 years. these things always go back and forth and back and forth. We are going to get to some boiling point, and then you hope that it brings a level of sanity back to the world, or back to people in general. That everyone comes to this and realizes, all right, we're kind of wrong here, or we have to come and look at this and address it with a level head, and with respect to everyone involved, which is the hard part. It's like right now, I think there are groups of people who just feel empowered to do and say whatever they want to do and say, for whatever reason. I think that in itself is going to either burn itself out or something will happen and it'll get to a head. And I think we're getting closer to that head.
Okay. I just know there's a core quality within side of people, and you want to see the good,
right?
And you know that the good does exist,
right?
It's just, if you're a candidate, if you're you voted for a candidate on the left and this person voted for a candidate on the right, okay, exclude that. It doesn't mean that person is just out to lunch,
right? But that's where we are. That's unfortunately, like you just said, you say you voted for one or the other, and there are factions on the opposite side that just go crazy.
Right.
And don't recognize that, it's not just black or white. It's not just red or blue. There are gray lines. There are purple lines.
Sure.
There are extremes to everything. And I think the key still comes down to people accepting that there can be extremes and accepting that people can have alternate opinions and beliefs, but respecting that. That's the key. And it's a loss of respect, really. I think that's what it comes down to. People don't respect the fact that others can have an opposing opinion.
Right. And just because, like I said, just because you voted a certain way, I don't hate you.
Right.
We disagreed in that point, and there's a reason why a lot of people will say, or you've heard before, hey, don't discuss religion and politics.
Yeah. Those are the marginalizing conversation pieces.
So it's I don't know. Hey, there was one thing I wanted to mention, which was the James Bond franchise.
New one coming out.
New one coming out.
My ex-boss is working on the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he's been involved in a couple of them, yeah.
Wow. Did you hear Sony's, I guess, their run of that product, the franchise itself? I guess the library.
Right.
Is up.
For sale?
It might either not.
I did hear something. I read something very briefly about this.
Not that it's up for sale, but the licensing might have run out.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. I don't remember hearing it like that.
And I could be wrong, but I heard, guess who, or the two,
Netflix?
Combatants.
Netflix and who? Netflix and Apple.
Amazon and Apple.
Amazon and Apple. Okay. Wow.
I mean, it's.
Do you know what the number was?
I don't know what the number was.
Because
I don't know what the number was.
That franchise, I mean, you got the library, you've got, all the history, you've got the future books, which who knows how long they'll continue to write those stories. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Find some news about that franchise going up.
Yeah, it's just, as usual, it's the usual suspects. As usual. How many times can I say the word usual? But it's Amazon, it's Netflix, it's Apple, and or Facebook.
Nothing showing up right away.
Okay.
Fine. I don't mind any of those getting it, really, because it's just going to make it more available for those of us who like the Bond franchise.
Right.
If any of them get it, they'll stream it.
Because the question
it'll all
is,
be available.
How do you get it now? Or do you even get it now?
Like, Netflix cycles through the Bond movies.
Okay.
I don't think they're all available at any one time. But, they'll put 4 or 5 of them up. They're up for like a few months. Then they go through. Then they put another couple of them up. They never put them all at the same time.
Okay.
And I would guess they probably still wouldn't do that no matter who gets the franchise.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of weird that because I think about them now. I think about the franchise now, and for me, what I think about the franchise is, well, every 4 years there's going to be a new movie,
right?
But anything older,
they're out there.
You know,
some of those Bond movie classics.
Of course.
Still enjoy watching them. As campy as they were, the different Bonds. I'm sorry, for me, Sean Connery will always be the real James Bond. I understand the Roger Moore folks. I get it. I understand he wasn't the bad Bond, but Connery, he's Bond. Diamonds Are Forever. That's the one.
All right, I'll go with that.
All right.
I'll go with that. It's going to say Roger Moore.
I get Roger Moore, Man with the Golden Gun.
You know,
good movie.
Moonraker
was kind of weak.
All right.
Live and Let Die. I mean, the soundtrack makes that movie, but it was also a good movie. And Jeffrey Holder with his laugh there in Scaramanga. I won't do the laugh. I'm tempted, but I won't do it. Talking movies. Went to the movies last night.
Okay.
Took my my youngest son, and we saw It.
You saw It?
Saw It.
Okay.
I always thought that was one of Stephen King's best books.
All right.
Up until in opinion, the very, very, very end of the story, which I will not say anything here for those who haven't seen it yet. As it turns out, though, this movie is the first of, they'll do it as, they got to only do it as 2. They can't stretch it out to 3, I hope. This is chapter 1 of the series. It was entertaining. It reminded me of Stranger Things in the way they presented it.
Okay.
And it almost makes you say that someone was watching Stranger Things and said, you know, we could do this with that book. And it's true to the book. It has its scary parts. It's pure horror with some comedy along the way. You know, it's the kids. It's typical Stephen King. I enjoyed it. I will say that. I enjoyed the film. And when part 2 comes out, whenever it comes out, I will watch it.
And I think Stranger Things is coming out next month?
Soon. Yeah, that's really soon. Should be. I think
November,
it is next
latest?
month. Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Next week, I think, is going to be a show with you.
Oh, yes.
The Good Doctor.
If she's here. If she's not gallivanting around the world.
And I think Allison might be
Allison. That would be nice, Allison.
I think Allison might be stopping in. I think.
So I will be the one that's outnumbered this time.
You will be outnumbered, and they will be talking about God knows what.
You know what? I'll let the ladies just take it. I'll sit on that side of the table and let the ladies sit on this side of the table and let them go with it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sure they're going to eat that one up.
Yep.
You know, but next week I am heading to Washington, D.C.
Nice.
I was going to say, I can't speak ill of the NFL since I'm going to go watch an NFL game next week.
That's okay.
Skins. And Raiders.
Oh, that should be a good game.
The same Raiders that beat up on the Jets.
What was the finals now?
I think it was 42-20.
Oof.
But they scored 20 points. They scored 20 points.
That's the way of making things look good, Ted.
I know.
That's the positive outlook.
Only 22 points.
They lost by 21.
The line was only 13.
Oh.
The line was 13.
Okay.
So.
Pulled it.
But other than that, Richie V, what's going on with you this week?
This week I hope to be a quiet week. Nothing much going on, just work.
All right.
The plan to have something, trying to line something up for the week after that.
Okay.
Courtesy of Disney.
Hope
to be going down to North Carolina to celebrate with Disney the opening for Cars 3. Some information about it. A big NASCAR event. Charlotte. Get to be on the Motor Speedway. Get to get in a NASCAR car.
That's nice.
And meet some of the voices behind the characters of Cars 3. Speak to some of the producers and director, I believe, and some of the other actors. So looking to have a nice event down there.
Perfect. So best ways to get in contact with you?
It's me. It's at Late Night Rich.
All right. And I am the real Ted Hicks. And we will be back next week.
No, you won't be back next week.
I won't be back. You will be back.
Have a good week, everyone.